Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Bree from With Love Bree, and today I'm going to be doing a share and tutorial. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of tutorials on how to do this, but this is my way of making one of these. I am packaging up the last of my Happy Meals just because the baby is coming and I need to make sure I'm prepared for that, so I need to take a break from sending out mail. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Luckily, I mean, it's pretty late right now. It's 10 o'clock, but luckily Chris is not in the room at the moment, so I can go ahead and get a video recorded. So sorry if the lighting isn't great, but this is what we're going to be creating. This is like a little book to hold some of your embellishments or anything that you're gifting to your pen pal. And I added one of those dingles that I have a tutorial on the side here. And it's just using a split ring. And then I just used some ribbon that I have here to close up the book. And then this is how it looks. I did use a die, but for this particular tutorial I'm not going to. That's the reason why I'm making the tutorial, is in case you know, you don't have this die. But I did share the die on my haul, which I'll have linked down below. I got it on Amazon in case you guys would like to order it from there. So we're gonna go ahead and just get started. Oh, actually no, let me show you the inside because I'm going to do a little share. So if you guys don't want to see the share, just skip ahead. I'll make sure to have it linked down below where the tutorial starts. But I just want to quickly show you guys what I did because I know I'll forget before I send it out. So I just did some butterfly cut aparts from the pattern paper, and I used my dimensionals to keep the wings flapped up here. And then I used some of the Tim Holtz butterflies that I showed in my recent or my previous videos. It's a die that's retired, to add more butterflies. These little raindrop things that look like little butterfly poops, they are actually from a rosette die, the Tim Holtz rosette die. They were leftovers, and I actually used them as little kind of like trails for the butterflies. So I put 2 here at the bottom, 2 here, and 2 here. Again, just as little trails. And then I just scattered some sequins around the front. I also did my drills on this card here. If you guys have not seen that tutorial, I will have that link down below as well. These are diamond drills just to add some dimension and texture to the card. And then I also have some here on the flowers. And then I also, as you guys can see here, I used some of my Spectrum Noir Sparkle. And this is in the clear color. And so that's how that looks. And then when you open it, this is how it looks inside. And in the pockets I have this here. You can make my pen pal can make this box. I just die cut the box part so she can decorate it, so all she's getting is the actual box. And then that's in there because you need 2 of those. Luckily it fit perfectly in the pocket because I was freaking out about how I'm going to fit the actual die in there, or the die cut. And then in here I also included a bunch of those mini rosettes that I have a tutorial on as well. Again, all the links will be down below. This one I did create some little as you guys can see, I have some with the banners already and some sequins in the middle. The other ones I have some that are just plain where she can decorate them herself. And so that's in that pocket. And I just did some simple layering. I love using the tickets from this collection. It's the easiest way of adding texture. As you can see here, I also added this butterfly. And then I just scattered some sequins in different colors around here. And then here's this one. And then here I included some of the cut-aparts, and what I did was I bedazzled them and I used my diamond drills to put on each one of these cards, so if she wants to use it in her Happy Mail, they already have like that texture on it. And then the last pocket here are some rosettes. I made some mini rosettes from the Tim Holtz die. The die is this one here, and I love this die. I've had it for a while, and I love making some small ones too, just for like different sizes. If you guys are interested on how to make those, I can do a tutorial. It's super easy if you have this die, of course. I'm not sure if it's still out there, but definitely a die that you should have, because these rosettes are really cute, and again, you can make different sizes. So yeah, so that's how that looks. And then again, when you close it, it's perfect. And the glassine bags that I used, I think the size I use is like the 3x8 size. I'm not sure, but yeah, the pockets here. The die that I use is, again, I'll have a haul, my haul listed down below in case you guys are interested in the dies I purchased, but this is the die here. I use this like lace pocket, and the measurements for the pocket is 3 1/4 by 4. So it's 4 inches this way, 3 1/4 high. So that's what I used there. And then when you open it with the die, I made a gusset so that way it kind of fans out a little bit, so when I put the goodies in, it's not tight in there. So for today, I'm going to show you guys how to make these pockets, obviously without the die cuts, but with a gusset, so you can add some goodies in here. So that's that. We're going to go ahead and set this aside, and I'm going to show you guys what you'll need. Okay. And it's kind of dark here because I only have one light, but that's okay. So I have my paper trimmer, I have a scoreboard. You can use your scoreboard / paper trimmer if you have one. I have it with me, but I'm going to use this just because I really don't need the big one right now. And then you'll need a scoring tool, which this is, or a bone folder. You'll need some scissors, your pattern papers. You'll need 4 for your pockets, or 1 if you're going to use the same pockets, but as you can tell here, I did 4 different colored pockets, so I'm going to do that again. I'm going to use a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, just depending on what size you want this to be, but to be honest, I feel like this is like the best, like the perfect size, and so I'm going to use that. So I'm going to use a double-sided paper. It doesn't have to be double-sided, but it is preferred just because, you know, you're going to see the back. If you don't have any, you can always just put 2 pieces of paper together, and then that'll be your double-sided paper. Alright, so I think that's it. So we're going to go ahead and just get started here. I'm going to start with the base. You're going to cut your sheet of paper. I think I've already figured out I want these to be my pockets. I just don't know if I want this to be the inside. I think I'll have this one be. I should have thought about this. I think I'm going to have this be at the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this. So for the pockets that I'm making, the best size to cut your paper at is going to be, I should have wrote this down. I don't know why I thought I would remember, but it is 7 inches high. I have my ruler here. So it's going to be 7 inches high by 9 1/4. So if your pattern paper goes up and down, like it's a, it has like a specific orientation, you want to make sure your 7-inch side is going to be where your pattern paper is going, like up and down towards you, because we're not going to be folding that. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to cut this at 7 inches and 9 1/4. So your 9 1/4 inch side is going to be where your pattern paper is going, like left and right. I hope I'm making sense here. So like as you guys can see, I have my stripes going left to right. That's how you're going to want it if you're going to have a pattern. But yeah, so I have this. These are scraps. I just took these in here. Okay. And then for the book, you are going to do a couple of scores. So I think this will fit here. That's 7 inches, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and close this. We're going to set our paper trimmer aside. Oh, actually, no. So I'm going to do all my cuts first before I score. So the reason why I like this size is because you can actually use a 6x6 sheet of our paper. So if you have like a 6x6 pattern paper pad, this is a perfect size because you just need a 6 inch by 3.5 inch sheet. So we're going to go ahead and cut this because this is a 6x8. So I'm going to cut this down to 3.5. And again, you want your longest piece to be, sorry, I don't want to cut this short, but you want to make sure that your pattern paper is going up and down, so that's going to be your shortest side. Your longer side is going to be where you're going to be scoring, obviously. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut these out at 3.5. Okay, so here are my papers, and again, more scraps. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our book cover and our little pockets. And if you want a like design or something on your pockets, you can definitely pull out a punch. I'm not sure if I am going to do that yet. I'm just going to see how it looks first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of paper here that measures 9 1/4 by 7 inches, and I'm going to score this one. I have a 3/4 inch spine, so I felt like that was the best size for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. Let's see. 4 1/4 and 5 inches. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, but I have those all scored now. And then you're going to take your your pockets, and for each one of these you're going to be scoring. So the way I like to score my papers, I'm going to zoom in here. The way I like to score my papers when I'm making pockets or something where I need the same measurements on both sides to be scored, I like to flip my paper around and then re-score it, because sometimes, I don't know, it's not even, and I feel like that's the best way you can get an even score is when you just flip it around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score at every 1/4 inch up until the 1 inch mark. So I hope that makes sense. So you're going to score at 1/4. You're going to score at 1/2, 3/4, and 1. And then you're going to flip it and do the same thing here. You're going to score at 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and 1. And then you're going to flip your paper over and you're going to score at 3 3/4. All right, So I'm going to show you how to make one pocket. I'm going to do the other 3 off camera, and then once we get to that point of gluing it into the book, then that's when I'll come back on camera. Okay guys, so I forgot to put in that if you have a pattern paper that obviously has like a specific orientation, make sure you score your 3 and 3 1/4 inch on the side at the bottom of the pattern paper. So if this, obviously this floral piece has to go up and down, I'm going to flip it this way and just make sure you score it 3 and 3 1/4 at the bottom of the pattern paper, because if you score it here, it's going to be upside down and you don't want that. So yeah, I'm probably going to insert this before I even show you guys how to make this part, but just stay tuned so that way we can go ahead and continue making these pockets. But here is how it looks. So you have all these scores. You know, I also like to make my hinges kind of separately, or not hinges, but I think they're hinges, but I like to make them separately too sometimes, but other times I will score it like this, so that way it's already attached. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is fold these. So for each score that is closest to the center, so obviously this one here, and this one on the top, I think it's easier to see here. So this, and this one, you're gonna mountain fold it. So you're gonna start by folding it down like this. Then you're gonna valley fold. It's just like making that. And then you're gonna mountain fold. And then valley fold again. So it looks like that. It's an accordion fold. So you're making like this M shape if you're putting it this way. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. You're going to go down, up, down, and up. If you're starting on the edge of the paper, like you're going to start folding here, you want to start on going up first, and then work your way to the end. So that's going to be that part. So now you have this here. These are your gussets, sorry. You can, not hinges, because hinges are the ones to make it flat. But these are your gussets, so you can always make these separately. But yeah, so now that I have that, you have 2 more to score, or to fold. So you're gonna take this one right here, closest to the center, and you're gonna fold it like this, and then outward. So when you're looking at it like this, it looks like this, like a V. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut all these, like, I don't know if you can see it, there's 8 little squares here. You're gonna cut all those squares out because you don't need that. So I hope you guys can see. I'm gonna stand up because I cannot see. So you're gonna cut this. And I like to cut to the left of the score line, or like the inside of the score line, so to make sure it folds nicely. So like this. We're going to do the same thing here. Okay, so you're going to have something that looks like this. And then when they fold in, and you'll see why there's only 2 at the bottom. I didn't want there to be a thick bottom part. Things will fit inside, I promise you, but this is how I make mine. So I'm going to go ahead and just make the other 3 before I show you how I'm going to adhere it, so that way these can be done as well. Alright you guys, so I had to add another part, like insert another part to the video, just because I forgot to explain that if you have like a specific orientation on your paper, you have to score it a certain way so that doesn't become backwards. So hopefully I can fit that in there. But yeah, so here are the pockets. I'm just going to use like this tool here to just make sure that my scores are creased very well. So I'm just going to go over it really fast, just because I want to make sure that they're creased very well. Okay, so now that we have our pockets, if you want to make any kind of like special border or anything, you can definitely use a punch to punch it out. You can even do it before, you know, making all these creases. But what I think I'm gonna do is just use a circle punch. I didn't bring very many punches with me. A lot of it is going to be in storage, and I don't know how long it's going to be in storage for, because I'm not sure how long it's going to take us to find a place. But I have my 1-inch circle punch, so I'm going to try to use that. And I'm just going to center this as best as I can. And then that'll be my punch. Yeah, it's not that centered, but it's okay. It's handmade, so whatever. Okay. So with the pockets, what you're gonna do is I'm going to fold all of these down, and I'm going to adhere this bottom piece. So as you guys can see, I'm going to move it so that you don't see my tummy. But this piece right here is going to get glued onto here. I don't know why I'm backwards, but like this. So just these two ends here. So it's going to look like that. Because then this part right here, this flap, is going to get adhered onto the book, and it'll have like a little gusset. So I'm going to use just this. This is Barely Arts glue. I've shared it a good amount of times, and as to why my bottle looks the way it does. But I'm just going to put some glue here and here. As you guys can see, this glue is really strong, so I usually use my hot glue, but lately I haven't been needing to. So I'm just going to glue these down. Okay, you guys, so I finished gluing them, and what I thought about doing, I know I probably should have done this way before, but here I am doing last minute things like usual. But of course, if you guys decide that you want to, you know, change up your pockets, you can do border punches on the top. You can do, you know, trim or whatever, but I'm gonna create like a clear like pocket. So I'm gonna put some acetate behind this so that way you can kind of see what's behind it. Since this pocket here has like this pattern, I thought it would be really fun to make like this heart in the middle. So not all of these do match. I did use my ruler, however, to at least measure the center here, so that way my heart is somewhat centered. So I'm going to show you. I literally just grabbed my ruler, because this measures about 4 inches. I just grabbed my heart die, and I lined up the tip of the heart on the 2 inches. And if my head or hair is in here, I apologize, but yeah. And then I'm just going to use washi tape. I do have a magnetic plate, however, because I have these already here, it is kind of restricting the metal die to reach my metal plate. So I did use some washi, and then it also kind of helps crease it. So I'm going to run it through really fast. Okay, so now I'm going to punch this out. And you can gift these or use the like leftovers for, you know, whatever. If you guys haven't seen my stitched heart tutorial, you can even use these. The hearts that I'm using, again, I have this in a haul video, which will be linked down below, are these ones here. So I'll just put it back now. So here are our pockets. Now, if we're going to do is just line these with some acetate. So when I went home to start packing, because we're basically done packing and getting all the furniture in a storage here, I, of course, grabbed some things, which was kind of stressful for Chris, but I did bring some of my scraps. So I had this in my craft room. These are actually laminated sheets, and I had a bunch of leftovers, and these will work. So I'm going to use that. And to be honest, because this is going to go behind here, it really doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to eyeball this and trim it. So I'm just going to do that really quick. This was a last minute thing, to be honest, and I apologize, but hey, you can watch me do this. So what I'm doing is just cutting this down to where I know it'll fit inside. So I'm just going to cut this down real fast. Okay. And then I think I can cut this about here. What size is that? We'll do 3 inches. Is that okay? Yeah, we'll do 3. So I need 4 of these. So I'm just going to cut 4 of these. Again, these are just laminated sheets. They're not even, what is that? Acetate. So, but it works. So we're going to do that because you really don't need to cover up the whole thing. You really just need the heart to be covered. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adhere this with, again, the Barely Arts glue. I trust this thing with my life, so that's why I don't really mind testing it out first. But I am going to put some glue around the heart, and then I'm also going to put glue on the edge of the, let's just say this is acetate. We all know it's not, just so I know that this is going to adhere to. And I'm just going to place this in the inside here. I'm just going to bring it closer to me. I don't want you guys to miss anything though, so just going to have to get my head in here just real fast. Okay. And I'm just going to adhere this down, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that really quick to all of these. And again, I'm going to do that off camera. Alright you guys, so I have the pockets now all done, as you guys can see. You can kind of tell this is like a laminated sheet because it has some ridges, but look how perfect they turned out. You can't even tell. They're really not that bad. So now we're going to go ahead and bring back in, you guys are probably wondering where the base went. So here it is. Again, I think I'm going to have this be the inside. So, should I? Let's see. Can I swap it? But I think we're going to stick with this. Does that look cute, or should I do it this way? I think I actually like the other side. I don't know. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think these, yeah, that's cute. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna stick with this. I am going to bring in this because I'm going to restore it. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because when I fold it, I just don't want it to get all weird. And so I'm just going to score this really fast. And then just make sure that this is straight. Okay, so I had to do a little bit of investigating because I thought I got the measurements wrong and I would have been all mad. But actually, it's just because I cut the paper a little too big. So I'm going to cut this off because I cut it to 9.5. It should be 9 1/4, which I think I said in the beginning. So I'm not going to freak out, because if that's the case, I'm going to just add like a little screen pop-up thing saying the right measurement. So I'm just going to cut off a 1/4 inch here, because I think that's what is easy. Okay, so that is that. Now I am going to open this up and our pockets are going to go inside. So I think I'm going to have, because these are floral patterns right here. Actually, no, I don't know. I don't want to have two like pinks side by side. I think I'm going to have it go like this. Yeah, we're going to do that. I think that's good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere these down. I like to line mine up. Looks like I got a little bit of glue here, so just use my eraser here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is adhere these down and just kind of place them where you think you want your pockets to go. I like to kind of place them where I feel first. I think that could go up a little bit more. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. It's kind of far for me, but it's okay. Again, I'm going to use my glue here and adhere this down. And then what I'm going to do is line it up with this one. So I'm going to line up the edges here. I'm going to line this up here so that way I know I'm lining it up where exactly I want it to go. Here, I'm just going to push down. I don't know why, but I think it's from the washi. It's like really sticky. Okay, so it's the last one. I'm just using this tool to slide underneath because it's literally just like one little slit to adhere it down. Alright, cool. And then because I ran this through my die cutting machine, it is a little flat, so I'm just going to kind of poof it up a little bit. And this glue dries fast, so it should be pretty glued down by now. Alright, so let me just cap the glue and show you how this looks. Okay, so here it is. Here are the pockets. And these are, I actually kind of like how it has the heart and then it also has the opening or the little circle punch there. Again, it's kind of not lined up. As you can see, it's kind of uneven, but to be honest, it doesn't bother me. But here it is. You can see it fits perfectly. I mean, when you have the tie, it'll be on there perfectly, and you can see the bottom. It's not two-dimensional, but you still get that space to insert your goodies in. And then when you open it up, it looks like this. And then I'm just going to show you guys with these goodies to show you how it looks with stuff in it. Ooh, that's not there. It's supposed to be there. See how cute it is with the little mini rosettes? You can see right through it. Because with this one, you can't really see the rosettes on this one. the mini rosettes, but with this one you can. You see that? So cute. And then you can kind of see through this one. And then you can decorate these however you'd like. And you still have a little bit of space. As you can see, you have another spot in the back here that you can fill because there's two. Is it going to focus here? There you go. As you guys can see here, there are like two spots here. So you can slide them in right behind each other, or you can leave it as it is, like this one should be here. But yeah, so that's how that is. And then when you close it, again, still perfect. And then for the closure, if you want, you just put like a piece of ribbon around it and then decorate on top of it. But that's how that looks. Alright you guys, so I apologize for the mess, but I was up till like 4:30 in the morning this morning because I was finishing up the embellishment book that I created on camera with you guys. I didn't decorate it on camera, but this is how it turned out. So if you guys remember, this one was tucked underneath the embellishing. I did this one on top, and I used some of this seam binding, which I do have a haul on, so check that out, to use as a closure. And then I did some layering. And then I also added a little charm on the side, and I just glued this part right here. This is free. And then I also added my label sticker to both sides, or not sticker, but die cut. And then I also used my Nuvo drops. So once I finished with the Nuvo drops, I went to sleep because I needed it to dry. So this is the inside. And as you guys can see, I used the Nuvo drops here on the heart piece. And I just did some thread, like clusters here. I did it on the two corners here. And so now all I have to do is just fill it up. I wanted to record it with stuff filled in, but when I woke up this morning, I ate breakfast, and then I literally was about to work on stuff, and I took a huge nap. So yeah, so that's how that looks. I'm probably going to have this inserted before I end the video, but I just wanted to show you guys before I mail it out on how it turned out. I'll have pictures also posted on my Instagram, which will be linked down below too if you guys are interested in seeing the photos. Alright, and here's one that's decorated. And then you can even just punch your hole now to add your tassel if you decide to do one. But that is for today's share and tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know there's probably multiple tutorials out there, but this is what I did. I also use a die, so yeah. I hope that you guys found this helpful though. If you guys have any questions, just ask them down below. And if you guys want to see pictures, I will have some on my Instagram. But yeah, I hope you guys are safe and you guys have a great quarantine. I know that sounds weird, but some people are going back to work. So I applaud you guys and I thank you guys for having to go back during this time. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, whatever day it is that you guys are watching this, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!